said 24-minute mark. Let's take a look. People have mentioned this in the last live stream. Some people said don't watch it. You're telling me to watch it. Let's just see what's going on. Oh gosh. So apparently Skip Bayless was on All the Smoke. And as you know, when you go on All the Smoke, usually you are on there to talk trash about the San Antonio Spurs. And it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. But, you know, Jackson said that he turned over a new leaf, that him and Popovich are cool now. So this is 2 days ago. So at this point, all right, so I don't want to be uncharitable here. But at this point, we know that Popovich is sick, right? Like that he's not doing well. At the very least, they know that Pop isn't doing well when this was recorded. Or am I crazy? I'm assuming this was uploaded 2 days ago. We knew for a minute that Pop wasn't doing well. Even before, I'll give him this. Maybe they didn't know. Maybe this was before the stroke stuff. So this better be at least respectful still, though. Because we knew that he wasn't doing well. All right. Like the stream, guys. Yes, like this video. I'll upload this segment later.
Pop, I just can't. You had your issue.
Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, gosh. Oh, God. Yeah, goodness.
I was mesmerized by the Iceman, but I can't wrap my arms around Pop. I just can't. You had your issues. He's just like Belichick to me with Brady. I think Pop was in large part a product of Tim Bleepin Duncan, because Timmy was such a great locker room leader like Brady was, that Pop could be old school, tough, you know, hard ass and all that like Belichick. But Tim would tell everybody, it's cool, it's cool. Just tune it out or whatever. We're going to win a whole bunch of games.
My brain already hurts. I can't. I don't know. Can I get through this? I hate this argument so much, dude. Everyone says like, oh, Pop was just, I mean, not everyone, just haters. They say Pop was just lucky by Duncan. Obviously, every franchise, always, everyone, every coach that ever existed is lucky by the players that they have on their team. You're not saying anything special. You're not saying anything special. Phil Jackson, he was lucky to have Kobe. He was lucky to have Michael Jordan. Who cares? What are we talking about? What makes Popovich great is he's saying, you know, Duncan was the one that came in and said, everybody calm down, it's okay. That's what makes him special. The fact that this superstar talent had enough respect for his head coach to tell everyone, hey, it's cool, let's relax. That's what makes him special. What are we even talking about? Why? Right off the bat, I can't handle this, man. I can't stand Skip Bayless. Remember when Skip was a Spurs fan? No, I don't. He was never, I don't know. Gosh, this guy. What are we talking about? Actually, he was, and then to say Bill Belichick wasn't a good coach because he had Brady? That's so stupid. That's so dumb to me. What are we even talking about? Every great coach, every great franchise was lucky to have superstars on their team. Duh. Popovich wouldn't be anything without Tim Duncan. Duh. Okay. Duncan wouldn't have, I mean, he still would have been Duncan, but Duncan wouldn't have been as successful as a player without Pop. So what are we talking about? Yeah, dude, duh. God, this is so infuriating. We just started. I can't get through this. What are we like? We're like 30 seconds in, bro.
And obviously admiring Tony. But once, remember, Pop used to say, when Timmy walks out that door, I will be right behind him. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That was 8 years ago, and Pop signed for another 3 years because that was bullshit. That's what that was.
Oh, wow, you're so tough. Also, Pop also said that he will leave once Kawhi left. He said that too. He said that he'll stick around for Kawhi. So he was going to stick around until Duncan left, and then Kawhi became a thing, and he was going to stick around until Kawhi left. And maybe he just loves the game. He just loves the game too much. That's a problem? It's criticized. And this is after knowing that he's not doing well. That makes me a little irritated.
People swallowed that bullshit from Pop. And ever since Timmy walked out that door, show me what Pop has done. Do you see the GOAT coach?
Oh
I don't
my
see it.
God.
And
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Oh my. I guess 2017 never happened, guys. Just throw away 2017. It never happened. Pop didn't do anything. As soon as Duncan was gone, the Spurs were absolute trash. No context. No context. What happened after 2017? What happened after 20? Nothing happened. Nothing happened. There was no player in particular that backstabbed the Spurs and left them with nothing. There was no player that kind of forced the hand of the Spurs to get, I mean, no disrespect to our boy, okay? No disrespect to DeMar DeRozan. But kind of forced us in a situation where it just wasn't winning basketball. No, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Stupid.
with Wemby last
He defends Kawhi too. I'm going to lose it.
year, he ran away with the blocks lead. He crushed Chet in blocks last year. And he was, obviously, by the end of the year, he was extraordinary. And they only won 22 games, and they're not off to a great start this year. And you say, Chet's got a better team. Sure he does.
Did he just say that? Did he just criticize us for winning 22 games with a rookie Wemby and a team that's not built for him at all? Are we serious? Are we serious? Is he for real?
I mean, they're just loaded. They're like 10 deep. But
also defending Kawhi Leonard in July, like you said in the chat, defending Kawhi Leonard after all that stuff came out with the Clippers, that they were actually like in cahoots trying to get him over to LA, even when he was with the San Antonio Spurs after signing an extension. After all that, if you still defend Kawhi Leonard, I don't know what to tell you.
the Spurs have some talent on that team, and I don't see it reach any fruition. And I'm wondering how long is the honeymoon for Pop,
Well,
right?
what I will say about that is, if you look at the coaching staff, and I was there with Mike Brown and Coach Bud, they both went off to have great careers and great coaches in the NBA to this day.
Okay,
So I would say Pop is not a great basketball coach.
good. I'm
He's
with you.
He's a great leader of men.
All right.
Because for me,
Are those things like mutually exclusive, or in order to be a great coach, you have to be a great leader of men? So what is he saying? He's not good with the X's and O's? Because I call complete BS on that. Well, what are we trying to say? Pop, I mean, literally being the leader of men is like 90% of the job in the National Basketball Association. The X's and O's in the NBA is not as important as your ability to lead men. I would say that that's like 90% of being a great basketball coach in the NBA. Also, yeah, Garza, not a great basketball coach with 5 rings. Are we serious? In 3 different decades? 1999, 03, 05, 07, 14. Yeah, he's not a great coach. What do we even... I can't believe this, man. Pop is not a great basketball coach, as he is 3-time coach of the year, 5-time champion, all-time NBA wins. Yeah, that's not a good coach. Now, if he has 6 championships, now we can talk.
You want to take speed for that shit?
but that's fine.
That's okay.
That's fine because he had great coaches up under him. I think Pop is a great leader of men. You know what I'm saying? Putting guys in the right position. Perfect example, I would say this. If I didn't go to San Antonio at the beginning of my career, I wouldn't learn how to be a professional.
I understand.
wouldn't learn how to be a
I
pro.
appreciate that.
I wouldn't learn how to prepare, and that's what Pop does.
Okay.
He makes everybody buy into a
Shut up,
championship
Skip.
idea of what should happen, what a championship, a team, and organization should look like, and he brings the right pieces around. That's why he had Mike Brown. That's why he had Bud News. That's why he had PJ Carlissimo. All these guys. He even brought Sam Presti in.
He did.
That's also part of being a great coach, being able to assemble a winning team around you. That's also part of being a great coach. Everything you're talking about, like I don't know, you this is all part of being a great coach, getting the right people around you. That you got to assemble the right talent around you and make sure everything fits. That's part of being a great coach. assembling certain players that fit with other players is part of being a great coach. I don't know, man. Jackson's take is bad, but at least he gives some credit. Pop wasn't a great coach is just a stupid statement. I don't know, man. I'm not going to praise him for saying he's not a great coach and then naming off everything that makes a great coach. I don't know. It's just dumb. But and Skip is just eating that part up.
Sam Presti's doing in OKC. So he's good at bringing the right people around him and leading men together.
Were you afraid of him?
Not at all. I'm not
What?
Okay.
I was not afraid of him.
'Cause
What?
most guys are afraid
And I
of him.
challenged him a lot. I challenged him a lot because a lot of the things he was doing, it wasn't because
Oh my
I wasn't a
God.
good basketball player. He was trying to.
Most guys are scared of him. What are we talking about? Most guys are afraid of Pop. What are we talking about? I have not gotten that at all. I have not. Or what year are we in? I have not gotten that at all. I mean, you don't want to screw up, but like scared of him? Pop loves these players. Exactly, Gregory. Players love Pop. What are we talking about? Like he would get on to like. Let me think of the play. Yes, who's the player he would like fire up every game? Danny Green. Danny Green would get chewed out every single game. It felt like he was so hard on Danny Green, but like you listen to Danny Green talk about Pop, and he absolutely loves him. Like you could tell they still stay in communication. That it was. Yeah, on the court, yeah, he's getting on to him. Yeah, when his business is business, but off the court, he's hanging out with them. He's spending time with them. He's getting to know him as a person. Like these guys aren't scared of Pop. That's such a dumb statement. Were you scared of Pop? What a stupid thing to ask.
He was trying to make me a mature man, right? Being in games and mad because I didn't get the ball or something like that and arguing with my teammate. That wasn't the winning way in San Antonio. So he was trying to raise me as a man. I didn't understand it at the time.
Okay.
I thought he was just picking on me.
But you fired back at him enough times. He finally said, "That's enough."
I had enough.
Yep.
Well, actually, he didn't give me my big contract after he won the championship. That was his way of saying, I'm in control. You know what I'm saying? So things like that'll bother you with Pop. But as a leader, I don't think you're going to find a better leader.
I appreciate
Well, at least Jackson just said, hey, I was in the wrong. So there's that. Exactly. DeMar literally had him write a part of his own book. Yeah, didn't he have him write the beginning of it? What was that called? What's that called, guys? It wasn't a synopsis. What was it? The forward? Is that what it was called? He wrote the forward for his book, I think.
that. R.C. Buford, you played around and under him as the GM of that team.
Yep.
I'm going to remind everybody, R.C. Buford did not play basketball. He was a walk-on college football player at Oklahoma State, and he talked Larry Brown at Kansas into letting him be a gopher on their basketball staff. I don't even know how that started, but it did.
Okay.
And that led to one thing after another, and he winds up in San Antonio, and you can make a case.
Uh-huh.
He was the greatest builder of a dynasty we've ever seen because it's pretty easy to take Tim Duncan, but it wasn't easy to take Tony Parker at the end of the first round, and it was definitely not easy to steal Manu Ginobili at the bottom of the draft, right?
Yep.
And it was not easy to go steal Kawhi Leonard from Indiana for George Hill. Remember, it was basically, that was the trade.
Yep.
It was George Hill and
what are we getting at?
The 17th pick, and you get Kawhi. Really?
What are we getting
you got
at?
Kawhi Leonard. That's how you build a dynasty. So it was Pop not
Kawhi Leonard wasn't Kawhi Leonard at that time.
blessed to have R.C. Buford, right?
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. So this is just Pop was just lucky. So Pop had nothing, guys. Pop had nothing to do with anything. He was just kind of there, right? He didn't even know what was going on. He was just confused. He was just he just let the world take him on a ride. He had nothing to do with anything. None of Pop's behaviors or none of his personality or none of his basketball mind played a part in anything. He was just there. He was just a body. R.C. Buford is actually the greatest Spurs coach of all time. Pop was just there. He was just there.
Okay, so it all came together, but ever since Timmy walked out that door, I'm not seeing a whole lot from him. I'm not seeing special where there'll be a night I'll be watching Wemby and I'll say, you know what, they got something cooking here, because strategically they know how to play defense or whatever. I don't see any defensive commitment. And Wemby is still taking way too many threes. He's shooting 23% from three, and he's got a beautiful stroke, but it's just like he's 7'4". Are you really 7'4"? I don't want him just standing out there all the time taking 8 threes a game. He took 13 last night at Utah and made 4 of them. Way to go.
But what a lot of what Pop lacked, Tim Duncan picked up on, like you said.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff, like they worked hand in hand. So, it's definitely, everybody knew it wasn't going to be the same once Tim walked out that door. We all knew.
You were in that locker room with him. Was he not as as powerful a quiet force as there ever was?
By far.
Yeah.
By far. He
Because
ran. He
you
ran
didn't say a whole lot. You just knew.
Yep, and he set that tone that you had. That he demanded that respect. You know what I mean? And I think that's why they had so much success, because if you got that respect at the top, it's gonna trickle down and everybody's gonna buy in.
Yeah.
I've been to a lot of organizations where you never know who the owner is. And everybody's not buying in. You got coaches with their own way of doing things. You got coaches talking behind each other's back. That don't happen in San Antonio. Everybody's buying in on the same page. That's the only way you have that much success.
Okay, you said it. I didn't. You said not a great basketball coach, right?
No.
See, he just loved that. See, he just grabbed onto that. I don't quite understand. Like, that's part of it as well. He said people aren't talking behind their backs. Everyone is on the same page. Isn't that part of the leader that Popovich is as well? Isn't that part of being a great basketball coach? I just don't really understand what we're even talking about. Doesn't matter what you want, Skip. I'm getting heated watching this. It's kind of crazy. Joseph said, take the music off your vids so I can watch them, please. I don't really get enough. Hey, all right, everyone in the chat, do you have a problem with the music in the background? You cool with it? Should I turn it down a little bit? I'll take some criticism. I don't care. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't get enough like people irritated by it. So I think it's a vibe. Me personally.
He's a great leader.
Your point about leader of men,
but he's just why he's not a great basketball coach. He's a leader because he comes from a military background. Am I right or wrong?
I can do that right now.
That alone, being able to put people in the right place and to lead guys, and like that's not easy as you think. He's not an expert. That's why he had Bud. That's why you see the coaches that leave from him. Well, Ime Udoka, all these coaches that leave him become great coaches on their own because they were great coaches under him. You know what I'm saying? He was just leading them and putting them in the right position.
It's a good quality to have, absolutely.
Yeah, he's a great leader, probably the best.
Who was the strongest coach you played for?
The strongest coach you play. Just anything to dismiss Popovich. Who's the strongest coach you ever played for? If he doesn't say Popovich, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Most powerful force in the locker room, somebody you really looked up to.
Phil Jackson.
Really?
Quietly.
Oh, he was
But
talking to Barnes.
And I got the end of his run.
Which year was it?
10 or 11.
Okay, 11.
Where he announced he had cancer and he was going to step away from the game, but the aura of his presence was strong. You know what I mean? And I came in the year they had just won 2 and we were going for a 3-peat, and I, hurt myself towards the end of the playoffs. But the trust he instilled in you, if you put you out there, he trusts you. He's not going to be a coach. I mean, we know he's not up there screaming and doing all kinds of shit. When he puts the guys out there, he trusts them and he allows you to play through mistakes and makes mistakes. And he wants you to figure it out on the court. And
he's not a timeout caller.
Yeah. So I really, and I got a chance to play for a lot of good coaches.
Weird question is over. I think it looks like it's still the Greg Popovich. Does Jackson answer this question?
But I think the mental side of it,
your acumen, your view, your knowledge, your eyes.
Yeah.
So did you ever challenge him?
I didn't need.
Why would you? What?
No, I'll say the reason why there was never need, because the way he talked to that code made every person feels feet.
What did you see in Stephen A to give him a shot?
Okay, we go way back before that.
Okay.
First time I laid eyes on Stephen A.
Okay. All right. The rest is an ad? The rest is an ad? What do you mean the rest is an ad? All right, that was terrible. Thank you for showing me that, July. That was absolutely terrible. That was something. Trying to see if we got any comments here mentioning that. Maybe no one really cared about. Oh, I'm sure Skip talked about the whole Shannon Sharp situation, huh? Yeah, no, dude, I'll be honest with you guys. I've lost a lot of love for Skip. I loved him back in the day, during First Take, where it felt like he was the only one praising the Spurs. But honestly, guys, he's after the whole Kawhi Leonard situation, and he wasn't saying Kawhi's name, which I thought was kind of weird. And then he ended up just being a huge Kawhi fan once Kawhi was winning. I don't know. It really rubbed me the wrong way. And ever since, I feel like he's been kind of clowning. He's been a little bit of a clown. All right, he's been a little bit of a silly goose. That was the definition of trash. That was a terrible discussion. What are we even talking about? What's his case against Pop? Never figured out why he hates him. I don't know, man. I think when it comes to like figures, it seems like when it comes to people in powerful positions, right? Skip doesn't really like to give them a lot of credit. I don't know if it's something where he's projecting. I have no idea. But teams that he loves, he just does not like to give credit to, you know, the leaders of that team or the coaches of that team. So the same thing with Pop. You know, he's a big fan of Tom Brady, so he doesn't praise Bill Belichick. I have no idea. I think it's something weird with him specifically, that he would even say that Popovich is overrated. I have no idea by what metric is Popovich an overrated coach. I don't know what we're even talking about. Of course he got lucky. Everyone gets lucky. Every great coach has gotten lucky. Just dumb. Skip thinks he could do better. I don't know what he thinks. Skip only says stuff that gets views. He's been on this for a long. I think he truly does believe it, but yeah. He loved the Spurs because they were a threat against Braun. Now hating on Pop is the edgy thing to do. Yeah, he didn't talk that much trash about. I guess he didn't talk that much trash about Pop when we were winning. Skip the edge lord, kind of. Wow, that was horrible. And in this segment.